Hello, welcome to Homeopathic Services. My name is Pierre Fontaine. I've been a professional homeopath for well over 25 years. During that time, I have treated solely autism. And because of that amount of time taking care of only autism, I have had much time to reflect upon what is autism, why, but more importantly, why do children on the spectrum or individuals on the spectrum do certain things? There is a logic to what individuals on the spectrum actually do. And I am here a few days before Christmas to tell every parent that there is a very real possibility of reversing autism in just about all children. In just about all children. And the reason why I say this is because homeopathy addresses directly the developmental delay that is autism, or the diversity of developmental delays that defines autism. This is truly the breakthrough in the last few years, understanding the specific developmental delays and be able for each one of these that are very, very, very multiple to give a homeopathic remedy accurately so that developmental delay can begin to happen. Throughout this journey of 25 years, I developed other methods of what we call case taking, understanding autism from the inside, and be able to give accurate homeopathic remedies. But the method 10 years ago was not as efficient, as accurate as the method today. Today, a few days before Christmas, I again want to stress it is possible to reverse just about all cases on the spectrum, or dramatically improve the functioning of the children on the spectrum, individual on the spectrum, because we have teenagers and we have adults on the spectrum. And even then, it is possible to clearly get measurable help, improve the lives at the very, very least, definitely in the younger population, absolutely reverse autism. I've been privy to be able to, because of the approach, the homeopathic approach, specifically at homeopathic services. Because again, I've been privy because I do believe doing only this, being the sole homeopath basically around the world, it's not a boasting issue. It's really what I dedicated my professional life to. And I believe it should be said. Being able to specifically understand why a child prefers to poop in a diaper than going to the bathroom. Why a child is afraid of flushing, of the sound. There is a logic behind this. Why a child wants to climb on the windowsill. Why a child wants to climb on the outside of the staircase. There is a logic to this. There is a reason. It's the homeopathic analytics that led me there, along with explanation from parents and all, from what their feelings are, what their sensation is. Why a child wants to take a bite, go around the living room, run around the living room 3 times, come back for a bite. There is a reason for this. Those are not the reasons for autism. They are part of autism. Fixing constipation is not going to help with development It's very unlikely. But why a child needs to rewind videos, there's a reason for this. Understanding the reason is important. It is important because it is no longer a focus, because I understand that the key point is to address specifically the developmental aspect. You see, getting a child to go to the bathroom is not going to reverse autism. Giving magnesium to avoid constipation is not going to fix autism. In fact, it's probably going to make the child more uncomfortable, but be that as it may. That is not going to do that. We can teach a child to sit for 5 minutes rather than 30 seconds. Again, that's not going to fix autism. That's not going to reverse the developmental delay. The child may be able to learn a little bit more, but it's not going to take care of what is behind this. What is behind all of this logic? The specific individualized developmental delays that requires such an array of remedies. This is possible. It is today possible to specifically target these developmental delays so that what I call, here's a new term now, interstitial space. That interstitial space is what is between learning to go to the bathroom and going to the bathroom just because it is the best thing to do. I'll give you a more specific example from last week. A father told me about his daughter. He said, now she's much more independent. So I said, give me examples. And he says, well, she wants to put her shoes on by herself. Okay. Is that one? No. When she goes to the car, she wants to put the seatbelt on by herself. She wants to carry her own bag. She wants to get dressed herself. She wants to brush her teeth by herself. She wants to do all of this. And it's what I call interstitial space. Learning how to brush teeth. Maybe we can learn to do that. Maybe we can teach a child on the spectrum to do that. Maybe we can teach a child to put the seatbelt on so you don't have to do it every time. Maybe we can teach these facts. But interstitial space is development. Interstitial space is what we take for granted. It is that across the board, this girl is independent, you see? It is across the board that she wants to do things. And the cherry on the cake, and she tells us she wants to do it. She said, let me do it. So these folks who used to have to take the toothbrush and open the mouth and, with difficulty brush their teeth, but she didn't like it where they had to put the shoes on before. No, she does everything herself. That's development. That is interstitial space. That is the concept. The concept of independence is filling. You see? It's no longer teaching facts. It's no longer teaching C for car, B for bus, and A for apple. It's no longer that. In this instance, independence and all of it, and now independence is clear. And there are more, this is just an example, but there are other aspects where she's also developing. She wants to do her homework by herself. We no longer have to sit with her. We come, we check, and she's there, she's sitting. That is interstitial space. That is development. Focusing on teaching single acts, single facts, is not going to help. I remember being told about a mom who came from California on a school trip, and mom is always with her child. He's 15, always with the child, and she controls all life. So they felt comfortable enough within the controlled of everything environment that the child could handle a trip to New York with the class. Except that when the child arrived at the airport, he pooped in his pants. Because it was completely different. He could not help it. So within a controlled environment, it could function. But no longer, because there's no interstitial space, there's no development. It's only control of everything. Okay? It's completely different. It's completely different. So, we are a few days before Christmas, and I want to reiterate that reversing autism, reversing developmental delay from a child on the spectrum is absolutely possible. When we approach these cases in the proper manner, it is absolutely possible in a fairly short amount of time, say a year or two, to no longer be on the spectrum. I have a case now, just because these things come to my mind, speak ad lib. A mom who says, I no longer have to supervise him when he goes outside. He plays with the neighbors. I no longer have to be there. I know it's all going to be fine. He can go with my brother, his uncle. His uncle could take him to the movies. It's no problem. Couldn't do that before. There was never any possibility. But it's that interstitial space, that which we as neurotypical take for granted, that is so important, and we no longer need to spend time on why constipation. I figured that, but being able to figure that out, open really the back door to autism, where the kernel actually lies, and be able to unlock that. I hope this video gives you plenty of hope that children on the spectrum can be relieved of that suffering. Because make no mistake about it, it is great suffering to be on the spectrum. Thank you very much. Enjoy the holidays. Bye-bye.